I'm sitting here drinking a glass of wine and thinking about the Raiders, thinking about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and what they've been doing post 2014 especially. You name me one impact player the Raiders have on their roster right now post 2014 draft. I can't name one that's a star. And all this talk about the Raiders have all these needs and they need to trade down and get more picks, I say screw that. The Raiders need to trade up. And the guy I think they should trade up for is Bradley Chubb. They'd have to trade up, way up, though, because the Giants might pick him. They just got rid of Pierre Paul, the fireworks expert, demolition expert, especially where his fingers are concerned. And they will be looking for a pass rusher. Of course, the Raiders are looking for pass rushers. They got talk about Irvin or whatever, but Irvin ain't going to be around forever and carries a big salary cap. Bradley Chubb, to me, looks like a Clowney type. Maybe a Joey Bosa type. I think Bosa's better than Clowney overall because not only production-wise and also he has been healthier, but that sort of disruption on the defense. And Paul Gunther's defense is, according to all descriptions, is a defense that gets up the field. They don't get too cute or whatever on defense. They don't blitz a lot. They rely on a pass rush, a 4-man pass rush. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, how about those interior linemen? We've seen Vanderdoes make some strides in some ways, and then he hurt his knee again, so who knows how he can be counted. Some of the other players, where are they at? I mean, really? Jihad Ward? Come on. Even Gruden mentioned his name. What has he done? Now, it can easily be argued that the Raiders' defense is not as bad as it seems, but missing that middle linebacker, why isn't Bowman re-signed? I don't like this problem with Bowman not being re-signed. He was the leader on the defense last year. And if you could solidify that little position, providing you're not trying to play cute with the draft and make everyone think you're getting a linebacker because the 49ers just messed up again with another linebacker. First it was Aldon Smith that they messed up, that the Raiders inherited. Yes, his problems begin on the 49ers. When he was on the Raiders, when the Raiders signed him, his problems had not been ironed out by the league. He's a 49er problem. And the other guy, Reuben Foster, he is a 49er problem. And they're going to be looking for a linebacker of some sort. Bradley Chubb is, what I've seen on his video, he's one of the best players in this draft. Is he the best player of all time? No. But put him opposite sides of Mac. I think that would be really good. It's going to cost a lot, though. But let's do the math on that. What is it really going to cost? Draft picks? If we learned anything about draft picks, they don't mean squat. Jack squat. The Raiders got plenty of draft picks for John Gruden. They didn't do anything. Draft picks don't mean anything. Good teams don't care. Patriots, they're never picking high up. They're always trading. They'll make their trades, get the player they want. None of this playing around crap. Oh, I'm going to build via the draft. It's going to be great. Good luck. Good luck. The Raiders need an impact player on defense. Now, I wouldn't be upset if they got a left tackle, but they need an impact player on defense. And to me, they have not been getting it. When they were picking at the 14th position, they got Kyle Joseph. He came with a broken leg or whatever. And he's not amounted to anything. He's too short. And he's injury prone, apparently. So where's your impact player? Because your impact play is going to happen in the first 3 rounds, I would think. I mean, people know too much about the draft these days. They're not missing anything. They're not, there's not too many people who slip through the cracks and go undrafted or get picked way deep in the draft anymore. There's too much analysis, too much analytics. So, what do you really lose if you had to give up a second and a third or whatever to move up in the draft in something next year to get Bradley Chubb? What do you really lose? Who are you going to pick in those rounds anyway that were going to be so good? Oh, I'm going to keep those draft picks. It's so important. Yeah, Cleveland's been picking in the top 5 for how many years now, and they still suck. Good luck. That's not how you... I am channeling Al Davis. Can't you smell Chanel? I can't remember the pronunciation. What's the cologne he always wore? Chanel Inteas? Is that it? Chanel Inteas. The cologne that could be smelled around the corner, according to Lombardi, according to John Gruden. I hope he's wearing it, because that's an Al Davis type move right there. Although don't skimp and go up to number 2 and not get the guy, because Cleveland could have ideas about pairing Bradley Chubb up with what's the guy they drafted? Was it last year or the year before? Garnett or whatever his name is. They could have ideas about that. And then they have the 4th pick right below that. And they could get Saquon Barkley. Like Cleveland, historically, the run is, Jim Brown. Power football, that would fit them really good, wouldn't it? Kind of envious of the Cleveland Browns, aren't you? Yeah, but they usually screw up in some way. They usually gotta do something really bad. But the Raiders, they shouldn't laugh, because the Raiders have screwed up in monumental ways. Now, I like this Bradley Chubb guy. Like I said, I like Joey Bosa too. The Raiders wouldn't trade up to get him. What year was that? Who did the Raiders draft that year? I don't know. I mix all these drafts up. It must be the cheap wine. I can't afford any Chanel and Teus. So, this being income tax day, it's time to look over the numbers, the bottom line. Who you really going to get with all these picks? Who knows what Cleveland would want for the number 1 pick? remember, was the Rams, wasn't it, that traded up to get Orlando Pace? And that was history. They got him, and they were off flying to the races. Yeah, I know. You got Urban on the team. Okay, you're going to select Bradley Chubb. Okay, where does that leave Urban? These guys always on the field? The Raiders used to rotate their defensive ends, defensive linemen all the time. I can remember 1983. You had Greg Townsend was a rookie. Howie Long. Lalo Zato, and you got Bill Puckell in the middle. I'd rotate those guys, but come on, Bradley Chubb. Because what are you going to get below him to impact the entire team? Are you really going to get, because you've been striking out like crazy? And John Gruden doesn't have a good record of drafting either. He's drafted some awful players. And even the Super Bowl year, what did he draft that year? What did you remember? He wanted Johnny Manziel. I don't know if he was just talking because that was his show. Oh yeah, this guy's great. Draft him. Yeah, but Bradley Chubb looks like the real deal. Of course, the Raiders could have. They could have went for Von Miller, couldn't they, when he was a free agent and when he signed when they signed the franchise tag on him or whatever, or he offered him the franchise tag, and that would be good too, wouldn't it? Khalil Mack and Von Miller. Why not? This is how Al Davis used to think. I remember I've watched the Monday Night Football game that's on YouTube. It's the Raiders versus the Houston Oilers. And it's the usual crew. It's Cosell, Meredith, and what's the other guy's name? But anyway, they're arguing in the booth about the history of the Raiders and about how Al Davis stole Otis Sistrunk from I think it was the Rams. Yeah, they were like the GM or the owner or something was on vacation, and he was informed that Al Davis traded for him, and it was like he was one of their best players, and that's what you do. You gotta go for it. I know it's a different time and people know too much now, but I think you sometimes need to roll the dice on some of these players and put your eggs in all one basket. And it's fine when you're drafting real high up. You're gonna be, even though Raiders are drafting real high up, but still, they're at the 10th position. They moved up to the 2 position before, and they struck out with Darrell Russell. I think he was a failure. He was underachiever. He was lazy. I know they won games with him, and he definitely got sacks and stuff like that, but at times he was lazy. And I'm hoping for something different. But you got to really ask yourself, who you going to get below him for how many rounds? I don't know what the value is. Because the Rays are at 10 right now. Is it a 1, 3, and a 4 next year? I mean, what is it? What does Cleveland get for it? Where the Raiders could go and select him. I don't know, he might drop too. Who knows? I mean, you never know with the draft. You never know what Cleveland's thinking. You never know what the Giants are thinking. They got an old quarterback. And Cleveland may or may not need a quarterback, depending on how they're viewing things. Remember, the Raiders didn't draft a quarterback way up in the draft, and they're drafting number 5. So they might do the same thing. I know they've done that before, and they got Manziel, and the rest is history. But you know, you gotta think of what one player could actually transform a team. But I hope Bowman is in that mix, really. Unless they know something I don't know. Maybe they do. Probably do. You know, they're the experts. Let's see. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but you know, Bowman was so good for the Raiders last year, and I don't think you want to go to a rookie, the middle linebacker position. But I just think that this guy would be a terror. Remember, Irvin cost a lot of money, and the Raiders don't have a lot of money, and they're going to need to make some of those decisions very soon. Cleo Mack's contract, who knows how much that counts towards the cap? Yes, Raiders moving to Las Vegas, things can be structured in such ways, but you got to really start looking at numbers, and the Raiders, you know, they're just wasting time. Now you start to get expensive players, and you're not producing. You're not producing championships. You're not doing anything. You haven't won a playoff game in forever. To me, I'm trading up for this guy. And I would stop thinking about draft picks because you do the stupid fantasy football shit. I don't care about your mock draft and all this fantasy bullshit. This is no longer fantasy. This is reality. The Raiders should go up and get an impact player in this draft. Because if they don't, you know, they're going to end up playing but themselves. They're going to really kill it, picking, just staying at the position, trading down. Because I could see, I predicted the Patriots might, want to trade up. Denver Broncos has said they will trade their pick if they don't get the quarterback they want. And you got other teams in front of the Raiders. There's 9 teams in front of the Raiders that could all trade down. For all different reasons. Who's going to fall to the Raiders? Is it really going to be the player that they need? Or will put them over the top? But you have to ask yourself, if you got a chance to get this guy right here, Chubb, do you not get him? There's a possibility they wouldn't have to trade up that far. They're not going to trade with Denver. Denver's not going to trade with them. Denver might pick this guy. You got to think about those things. You got Denver right in front of you in this draft, right? Who cares about draft picks in the future? Say you go up and get this guy. Rambled enough.